What happens when a self-made CEO trades his corner office for a mop and freezes when he hears a manager humiliating the one employee actually holding the place together? Adam Fairbanks had built the business from nothing. What started as a single cleaning service truck 15 years ago had grown into a chain of 9 commercial cleaning supply stores across 3 states. Now, his days were full of meetings, expansion plans, and quarterly reviews. But in the last few months, something had been bothering him. Sales weren't dropping, but customer satisfaction was. He kept hearing vague reports of inconsistent service from the 9th store located in a busy downtown area. Calls with the store manager were always rushed and emails were full of excuses. When the district manager visited last month, everything seemed polished. Too polished. Adam didn't trust it. He'd never met most of the entry-level employees at that location. The store was open during the pandemic and he'd been managing remotely. It was part of the reason he decided to go undercover. He wanted to see things for himself. With help from HR, he created a solid cover. Eli, a new trainee from another state transferring in after a company-wide hiring freeze. He wore fake glasses, grew out his beard, added a slight limp, and changed his voice just enough. Nobody would suspect a thing. He showed up on a rainy Monday morning for his first shift. The store was big, almost too big for the staff inside. Shelves were fully stocked, but the floors were dull and the windows hadn't been cleaned in weeks. The lobby had dirt tracked in near the entrance. It was clear no one was assigned to clean the public areas. "Eli," a voice called. "You're my trainee?" A tall, thin man in his 30s walked up, clipboard in hand. "That's me," Adam said, forcing a smile. "I'm Carl, store manager. Just follow orders and don't slow anyone down. Got it?" "Sure." Carl didn't bother with introductions. He handed Adam a mop and pointed at the lobby. "You can start by making this look halfway decent. Try not to break anything." Adam got to work. As he mopped, he kept his ears open. A woman behind the counter, probably front desk, was answering phones. 2 younger employees were laughing in the stockroom doorway, scrolling on their phones. A delivery guy stood waiting, ignored. No urgency, no teamwork. Then Adam spotted someone moving quickly in the back, a janitor in a faded uniform. She was scrubbing baseboards on her knees, sweat on her forehead. She stood up, wiped her palms on her pants, and walked toward the front with a trash bag over her shoulder. "Hey, Sasha," one of the younger guys called out. "You missed a spot under the sink yesterday." Sasha barely looked up. "I'll get it." Adam kept mopping. He felt something tighten in his chest. Suddenly, Carl's voice cut through the room like a blade. "Sasha, what the hell is this?" He held out a small piece of paper towel between 2 fingers like it was toxic. "You left this in the lobby yesterday. Again." "I didn't." "Don't talk back. You've been sloppy lately. You think just because you're always early you get a pass? You're lucky we even keep you around." Sasha's face flushed. She opened her mouth, then closed it again. Adam stood frozen, mop halfway through a stroke. His hands clenched around the handle. Carl kept going. "You want to be treated like a real staff member? Then stop acting like a ghost. You barely talk. You're weird. It makes customers uncomfortable." Sasha blinked fast. Her hands trembled. I just try to stay out of the way and keep the place clean." Carl laughed, loud and sharp. "Yeah, well, maybe try harder." Adam's stomach turned. He looked around. No one said anything. The 2 guys in the back were watching like it was a show. The front desk woman didn't even look up. Adam took a deep breath. He reminded himself why he was there. He couldn't blow his cover yet. But what he just saw, it confirmed everything. He followed Sasha quietly when she walked toward the back, wiping her eyes with her sleeve. She didn't notice him. He asked to be paired with her for the rest of the shift. Carl shrugged. "Sure. Just don't let her weirdness rub off on you." Adam didn't reply. As the day went on, Sasha showed him how to restock supplies, clean the industrial machines, and handle chemical waste safely. She was patient, efficient, and knew the job inside out. She never complained. Not once. "Why do you work so hard?" Adam asked. Sasha glanced at him, surprised. I like things clean. It's the only part of life that makes sense. Adam nodded slowly. Does Carl always talk to you like that? She hesitated. He's worse when customers aren't around. I've just learned to deal with it. Adam clenched his jaw. He was learning more than he expected. And it wasn't just about Carl. It was about a culture that let this happen. He wasn't going to walk away from it. Not this time. The next morning, Adam arrived 10 minutes early. Sasha was already there, unlocking the supply room with a ring of worn keys. She nodded when she saw him, her eyes puffy but focused. No one else had shown up yet. Adam offered to help with the prep work. She handed him a checklist without a word. The silence was easy. Not awkward, just quiet. They moved through the tasks, quickly checking bulk soap levels, inspecting the rental carpet machines for damage, restocking gloves and sanitizer packets near the registers. Sasha worked like someone who didn't expect help but knew how to make time count. Adam noticed a clipboard hanging near the employee break table. Weekly shift schedule. For names were listed: Sasha, Brian, Daniela, and Marcus. Carl's name wasn't there. No assistant manager either. Just 4 hourly staff trying to cover a 7-day schedule. By the time Carl rolled in coffee in hand, sunglasses on, it was nearly 9. He didn't greet anyone. Brian's out sick, he muttered, flipping through his phone. So, Sasha, you'll take the front until noon. Eli, stockroom. Make sure the mop heads are sorted. We've got a distributor walkthrough next week. He didn't ask if they could handle it. He didn't check if anyone had questions. Sasha nodded and wiped her hands on her apron. Adam watched her disappear toward the front counter, then headed to the back. The stockroom was worse than he expected. It wasn't filthy, just cluttered and poorly managed. Boxes were stacked in ways that blocked access to emergency exits. Cleaning agents were mixed on the same shelves with industrial degreasers violating at least 3 OSHA codes. Adam snapped mental notes, knowing he'd need to bring this up later, but didn't want to blow his cover yet. He started sorting mop heads by material and size, just like Sasha had shown him the day before. Halfway through, he heard voices low but tense. Don't start with me, Marcus, Daniela said sharply. I'm just saying, you always disappear when the heavy lifting starts. I was helping a customer. You could have asked. You weren't helping anyone. You were on your phone behind the register. I'm not doing this again, Daniela snapped. Tell Carl if you've got a problem. Adam stepped around the corner just as Marcus brushed past him, jaw clenched. Daniela rolled her eyes and walked the other way. Neither of them noticed him. Later that morning, Adam offered to help Sasha during a lull in customer flow. She was wiping down the rental counter. Does that happen a lot? He asked, keeping his voice casual. She looked up. Between those two? Yeah. Carl doesn't step in unless someone's late or makes him look bad in front of visitors. Adam nodded slowly. You ever think about leaving? I don't have the luxury. He didn't press further, but something about the way she said it stuck with him. At noon, Carl emerged from the back office holding a half-eaten sandwich. He waved at Sasha. You can take your break now. 10 minutes. That's it. She nodded and headed toward the back. Adam waited until Carl disappeared again, then followed her into the break room. She sat at the far end of the table, eating a plain turkey sandwich from a Ziploc bag. He sat across from her. You always get 10 minutes? She shrugged. Sometimes less. Depends on Carl's mood. That's not okay. She gave him a look that said, what are you going to do about it? But didn't say it out loud. Why do you stay? He asked again, this time softer. My brother's in school. I send money back home. Rent's high. I don't have a car. This place is walking distance. Adam nodded. You've got grit. She looked surprised. I've got bills. That afternoon, deliveries arrived: 3 pallets of industrial disinfectant and paper products. Carl reappeared long enough to sign the manifest, then disappeared again. Marcus was on a smoke break. Daniela vanished into the restroom. Sasha rolled up her sleeves and grabbed the pallet jack. Adam joined her. Let me take half. She hesitated, then handed him one of the scanners. Just don't drop anything. They worked in silence, unloading and shelving the inventory. Sasha moved with practiced efficiency, scanning barcodes, checking batch numbers, lining up labels like it was second nature. Adam kept pace, careful not to slow her down. Halfway through, Marcus returned and leaned against the wall. "You two look cozy." Adam ignored him. Sasha didn't even blink. When they finished, Sasha logged the deliveries into the terminal. Marcus sauntered over. "You missed a case. That one's not scanned." "It's not ours," Sasha replied. "Wrong store tag. Still looks sloppy. Carl's gonna have a fit. I'll move it to holding." Marcus snorted. "Whatever." Adam kept his mouth shut, but his patience was wearing thin. At closing, Carl finally emerged again. He called everyone to the front. "Tomorrow we've got a corporate call-in. No screw-ups. Sasha, clean the windows before the morning rush. I want it spotless. Use the good cleaner, not that cheap vinegar stuff." "We're out of the good cleaner," Sasha said. "Then figure it out." Adam watched her nod, even though she clearly didn't agree. No one else spoke. When the others left, Adam lingered. Carl was locking up the back door. "So," Adam said, "what's corporate looking for tomorrow?" Carl glanced at him. "Nothing you need to worry about. Just don't talk unless someone talks to you." "Got it." Carl looked at him for the first time all day. "You're better than the last guy they sent. He quit after 2 days. Why? Didn't like the pace? Or maybe he couldn't handle Sasha's silent act. Kind of creeps people out, don't you think?" Adam stared at him. Carl laughed. "Lighten up. You'll see what I mean." Adam said nothing. He left the building with his jaw tight and his mind racing. He'd seen enough. The next morning, he called his executive assistant from a nearby cafe. He gave clear instructions. Carl was to be suspended immediately. HR would arrive by noon to begin interviews with the staff. A temporary manager would be flown in from the flagship store by evening. Then he walked into the store, ripped off his fake name tag, and called all 3 employees to the front counter. Sasha's face went pale. Daniela looked confused. Marcus frowned. "I'm not Eli," Adam said. "My name is Adam Fairbanks. I own this company." No one spoke. "I went undercover because I stopped trusting what I was hearing. And now I know why." He turned to Sasha. "You're the only reason this store is still running." She blinked, stunned. "To be clear," he said, turning to the others, "Carl has been placed on leave pending investigation. He will not return to this store." Daniela's mouth fell open. Marcus shifted uncomfortably. Adam continued. "This location is understaffed, mismanaged, and operating below acceptable standards. That ends today. New leadership is on the way. In the meantime, I'll be staying here for the next week to oversee operations myself." He looked directly at Sasha. "You're not invisible, and you never should have been treated that way." She swallowed hard but nodded. Adam stepped back. "Anyone who has a problem with respect, accountability, or doing their job properly is welcome to leave now." No one moved. "Good," he said. "Now let's get this place cleaned up for real this time." The store opened on time the next morning, but everything felt different. Adam stood by the entrance in a plain polo shirt, clipboard in hand, observing the flow of customers and staff without interfering. He wasn't undercover anymore, but he wasn't about to return to the executive distance that let this mess unfold in the first place. His presence alone shifted the energy. Staff moved with more awareness. Customers were greeted faster, and no one disappeared into the back for stretches of time. By 10, the temporary manager from the flagship location arrived. Melissa, sharp-eyed, composed, and already familiar with the company's standards. She didn't waste time. "Let's start with the basics," she said to Adam after a quick walkthrough. "Staffing is thin. Inventory tracking is sloppy. The cleaning schedule's inconsistent. We'll need at least 2 more part-timers by next week." Adam nodded. "Post the openings today. Prioritize applicants with custodial or logistics experience." Sasha was sweeping near the front. Melissa called her over. "You've been here the longest?" Sasha hesitated. Yes. We'll need help training the new hires once they're on board. Think you can handle that? Sasha looked at Adam unsure. You already know the systems better than anyone, he said. We'll make it official. And you'll be compensated for the extra responsibility. She gave a cautious nod. Okay. Melissa scribbled a note. Good. I'll get HR to upgrade your title to lead floor technician. As Sasha walked back to her station, Adam noticed a slight change in her posture. Still quiet, still focused, but there was a shift. Like she was standing a little straighter. Melissa turned to him. You want me to start performance reviews today? Start with Marcus and Daniela. I want full transparency. Melissa stepped into the office and began pulling timesheets and incident logs. Adam stayed on the floor. By mid-afternoon, the rhythm of the store had stabilized. Customers were being helped in real time. The front counter wasn't left unattended anymore. Sasha had organized the cleaning closet, grouping supplies by frequency of use. Adam caught her demonstrating a safer way to store glass cleaner to a younger temp who'd been called in as a short-term fill-in from another location. In the back room, however, tension was building. Melissa emerged from the office, holding a printed log. She called Marcus over. I need to speak with you privately. Adam watched them enter the break room and close the door. 15 minutes passed before Marcus reappeared, red-faced and silent. He walked past Adam without a word, grabbed his jacket from the hook and left the building. Melissa came back out and approached Adam. He's done, she said quietly. Chronic lateness, multiple complaints about hostility, and he admitted to mocking Sasha more than once. He thought it was harmless. Good, Adam said. We're not keeping anyone who treats people like that. Daniela was next. She folded her arms when Melissa called her in, but followed without protest. The conversation took longer. When she came out, her expression was unreadable. She's on probation, Melissa said once they were alone. She's scattered, but not malicious. Needs structure. She'll either step up or step out. Adam nodded. Keep her on a short leash. By closing time, the store was visibly cleaner, better stocked, and more alert. A few customers had even commented on the improved service. Sasha approached Adam while he was reviewing a list of supply orders. Can I ask something? She said. Of course. Why now? Why come down here yourself? Adam set the clipboard down. Because I can't lead a company I don't understand anymore. I built this place on trust and hard work. Somewhere along the way, I stopped seeing the people doing the real work. That was my mistake. Sasha looked at the shelves. Most people at the top don't come back once they leave. I'm not most people. She didn't argue that. Do you feel safe here now? He asked. It's better. Still weird. That's fair. She looked at him. You're not staying forever, though. No. But I'll be here until the next 2 hires are trained. And I'll be back, unannounced, more often than anyone expects. Sasha considered that. If you do come back, don't wear the glasses again. They didn't suit you. For the first time all day, Adam laughed. As the last of the customers left, Melissa gathered the team together at the front counter, just 3 of them now, Sasha, Daniela, and the temp from another location. Starting tomorrow, Melissa said, we're implementing a new rotation. Everyone gets 2 full days off each week. No more skipped breaks. And we're adding a weekly team huddle. We'll review priorities, concerns, and suggestions. Daniela nodded, eyes tired but less guarded than before. The temp raised his hand. Will this store be getting more permanent staff? Yes, Melissa said. It's already in motion. After the team dispersed, Adam lingered by the entrance. He looked out at the street, the fading city light casting long shadows across the sidewalk. When he turned around, Sasha was wiping down the windows. Leave that, he said. It can wait until morning. She paused. I don't mind. I know. But from now on, not minding isn't going to be the standard. She put the cloth down. Adam locked up behind them and handed her a ride-share voucher. You've earned a ride home. She hesitated. You don't have to. I know I don't. I want to. She took it without another word. As she walked away, Adam stood alone in front of the store. The glass doors reflected everything behind him: the shelves, the floor, the quiet stillness after a long day. This wasn't fixed yet, but the rot had been cut out. The foundation was still solid, and for the first time in months, it felt like the business he'd built still had a future worth fighting for. The next 7 days tested every assumption Adam had about his own company. He remained at the downtown store from open to close, not as a figurehead, but as part of the crew. Every morning, he arrived just before Sasha and helped her prepare the floor. Every evening, he reviewed the day's operations with Melissa behind the locked office door, going over staffing ratios, vendor communication gaps, and training protocols. They didn't fix everything in a week, but they stopped the bleeding. The first new hire came on day 5, a soft-spoken man in his 40s named Terrence with a background in warehouse safety. Sasha trained him personally. She didn't ask to. She just did it. Melissa observed from a distance, noting how she adjusted her pace to match his and corrected him without condescension. That same afternoon, HR forwarded the findings of their internal inquiry. Carl's behavior had not only violated several company conduct policies, but had also triggered multiple complaints from past employees, all filed and ignored under previous district oversight. Adam signed the termination documents without hesitation. By the next morning, Carl's file had been flagged across the company's entire system with a notation: not eligible for rehire under any circumstances. Daniela, now on probation, was showing signs of steady improvement. She still struggled with consistency, but Melissa kept her on a tightly structured task rotation. Adam noticed that when she had a clearly defined role: checkout, customer returns, or inventory scanning, she performed well. It was only when things got chaotic that her focus slipped. One evening after closing, Adam pulled her aside. "Do you want to stay here long-term?" he asked. She glanced at the floor. "I don't know. Some days, yeah. Others, I feel like I'm always one mistake away from getting sent home." "You're not," he said. "But that feeling doesn't come from nowhere. We let poor leadership create a pressure cooker here. That's on me. But you've got a clean slate now. Whether you build something here is your call." She nodded slowly. "I want to try." "Then show me." By the end of the week, the store's atmosphere had shifted. Not dramatically, no one was walking around beaming or staging choreographed team chants, but the tension had eased. People made eye contact again. Tasks were being completed without reminders. Customers were spending more time browsing and less time flagging someone down. On Saturday, Adam gathered the full team for a meeting in the break area. Melissa stood beside him, clipboard tucked under one arm. "Next week, I step away from this location," Adam said, looking at each of them. "But not without putting safeguards in place. You've all seen what happens when oversight breaks down. That won't happen again." He gestured to Melissa. "She'll continue to manage the store until we hire a permanent replacement. Someone who aligns with how we expect people to be treated, customers and staff alike." Adam turned to Sasha. "You're being promoted to lead technician, effective immediately. Your new wage rate reflects that. You'll also be part of a monthly advisory group that will meet directly with me, not middle managers, to report on store conditions." Sasha's brow furrowed. "Advisory group?" "Company-wide," Adam said. "We're launching it in every region. I don't want to wait until things are broken to hear about them." She gave a small nod. No smile, just a slow, considered acceptance. Adam continued. "Terrence, you're being offered a full-time position. Daniela, your probation review will take place in 3 weeks. Keep focusing on your zones. You've shown progress. Keep it up." Melissa stepped forward. "We'll also be implementing a cross-training program. No more silos. Everyone will learn at least 3 core tasks. That way, if someone calls out, the entire shift doesn't collapse." Adam added, "And starting next month, this location will pilot a mentorship track. High-performing hourly staff can apply to shadow leadership roles. If you're committed, we'll invest in you." When the meeting ended, staff returned to their stations. There were still customers in the store. Floors still needed mopping. Orders still needed filling. But something essential had shifted. People knew who was accountable now. And they knew someone was watching who actually cared what they saw. Later that day, as Adam packed up his things in the back office, Sasha knocked on the open door. "Got a sec?" "Always." She stepped inside, arms crossed, but not defensive. Just thoughtful. "I didn't think anyone would ever notice what was happening here," she said. "Not really. I almost didn't," Adam admitted. "But I don't plan on making that mistake again." She nodded, then looked toward the schedule posted on the corkboard. "I'm not used to being a point person. If I mess up, you won't," he said. "And if you do, we correct it. No humiliation. No threats. Just accountability." She took a breath. "Then I'll give it everything I've got." He stood, held out his hand. "That's all I ever want from anyone." She shook it once, firm grip, then left without another word. That night, Adam walked the floor one last time before heading out. He paused near the front counter where Terrence was answering questions for a customer about bulk degreasers. Daniela was scanning restock items behind him, focused, headphones out. Near the corner, Sasha was reviewing the sanitation log, red pen in hand, correcting timestamps. No one looked up. No one needed to. He stepped outside into the cooling evening air and let the door close behind him. The lobby didn't need mopping anymore. But now he knew who'd be there if it ever did. And he'd never forget what it took to find out.